Buddha.
Good morning, Mr. Paige.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Well, is reconvening at 8:39, and the remote location is Riverbend Detention Center. With the staff at Riverbend, introduce yourself.
Officer Samiko Martin.
Good morning, Ms. Martin. How you doing today?
I'm all right. How are y'all?
Good. Thank you so much for facilitating. Would the offender please give his name and his Department of Corrections ID?
Edward Paige. Was this my deal? Did you ask for DOC number?
Yes.
477247.
Okay, great. Give me a second, Mr. Paige. You're here for a revocation hearing, as you've been accused of violating the conditions of your parole. Do you have an attorney for this hearing?
No, sir. I had one. I reached out to him and I couldn't get him back on the phone.
Okay. Did you have an attorney at your preliminary hearing?
No, sir.
Do you want to proceed without an attorney this morning?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You have a parole questionnaire in front of you?
No, sir.
Do you have any paperwork in front of you?
No, sir. I didn't know I had to bring it. Well, yeah, I do now.
Okay. You see that questionnaire in front of you?
Yes, sir.
Is all the information on that questionnaire correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is that your signature dated April 4th, 2023?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Ms. Iam. I'm gonna read the violations, and you have the option to plead guilty, guilty with a statement, not guilty, not guilty with a statement. You understand? You understand, Mr. Paige?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You have to answer verbally because it's being audio taped, okay?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Paige, the parole board is conducting a revocation hearing because you have been accused of violating the condition of your parole supervision. Condition number 4, on August 18th, 2022, you engaged in criminal activity which resulted in your arrest by the Calcasieu Parish Sheriff's Office for domestic abuse, battery, child endangerment, and domestic abuse strangulation. On January 31st, 2023, the District Attorney's Office submitted a form entitled NOP/NEC for the charges of domestic abuse, battery, strangulation, and domestic abuse, child endangerment. The offense report was provided stating that you engaged in criminal activity. According to the offense report, Corporal Bernetti described you punching the alleged victim in the back of the head several times, preventing her from leaving the residence, choking her, you threatened her with a hammer. Reportedly, you did this in front of a child. These charges were now processed in docket number, calculation number 11306-22 on January 31st, 2023. How do you plead?
Not guilty.
Not guilty with a statement?
Yes, sir.
One second, Mr. Paige. So right now, you pled not guilty. So give us your statement.
Can you hear me? You can hear me?
Yes, I can.
Oh, all right. No, because the box be with you when you're talking, and I'll be waiting for it to come with me, and I don't know. Can you hear me?
Okay.
All right. You ready?
Yes.
All right. I do take full responsibility of everything that happened, but I wasn't the instigator of it. I did, we did get into an argument and we did get into a fight, but I do take full responsibility for it, but I didn't hold nobody against their will, and I didn't threaten nobody and hold them down. None of that.
Okay, now, Mr. Paige, were you raised in a two-family home? A two-parent home?
Yes, sir.
You were raised by your mother and father?
Yes, sir. My whole life.
How many sisters do you have?
None.
Okay, but you do have a brother.
Yes, sir.
Would you like anyone, a male, to strike your mother in any way?
No, sir.
So why didn't you put your hands on the victim?
Just heat of the moment. She pushed me and I just reacted.
It was a child present.
She wasn't in the room when it started, but yeah, she was in the living room. Well, she was in her bedroom.
Did you actually strangle her until she lost her breath?
No, sir.
Mrs. Jackson, any questions?
Yes. Good morning, Ms. Paige. How are you?
Good morning. I'm all right. How about yourself?
I'm good. Mr. Paige, you acknowledge that you did get into a fight with the victim.
Yes, ma'am.
But your size and your strength as a male, you think that was a fair fight?
No, ma'am.
So how do you feel about the fact that you allowed your emotions to cause you to become physically violent towards the victim? How does that make you feel when you think about it?
Embarrassed and disappointment. In these 9 months, I've been through more because I had more to lose. I had more responsibility and more to lose because of my kids. I got 2 daughters in college, a son that's graduating next week, and I let all of them down, and I had to get on the video and explain to them, mainly my 2 daughters, what I did. They worship the ground I walked on, so I think that was probably the most downing part about it.
Prior to your being detained in August of last year, were you working?
Yes, ma'am.
What kind of work did you do?
Work with my uncle landscaping, and I have a side job at JC Construction.
Okay. And where do you live?
Lake Charles, Louisiana. But I moved from Natchitoches, so I have 2 jobs that way, and I get up. I work probably 3-4 times a week, maybe have a day or 2 off.
Do you and the victim have a child together?
Yes, ma'am. 23 months.
Okay. And where does she live? The mother of the child, where does she live?
We stay together in Lake Charles.
Well, were staying together in Lake Charles.
No, ma'am, we still together.
Well, you're in jail, so
Well, I mean, she's still staying like so, yes, ma'am.
you think that's a good idea, given the dynamics of your relationship?
Well, that we still together?
That you live in the same household. You can be with somebody and not live in the same household.
Oh, yeah, but, after all this happened, well, we both went to counseling and we both went to therapy, but
When did y'all both go to counseling and therapy?
this happened in May and I didn't get arrested till August. So out of them 3 months, I went to maybe 3-4 counseling sessions.
Where?
Ma'am,
Where did y'all go to
Agnes,
counseling?
in Agnes, we was looking for something like Charles, but couldn't really find
What kind of place did you go to?
my pastor.
Okay, so it really wasn't
And
like,
a-
wasn't a licensed therapist, you were just talking to a preacher.
And a bishop, yes, ma'am. It wasn't a licensed therapist. That's what she was wanting me to go to, a licensed therapist.
I mean, are you willing to do that?
Yes, ma'am. I mean, we was in the process of doing it. And I pay out of pocket every time I go. So, I mean, I was gonna do it myself and start my own personal one.
All right. And are you willing to complete a 26-week domestic violence program?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Jackson. Mr. Freeman?
Is she on the phone today?
Yes, she is.
Yes, sir.
Questions.
Okay. At this time, we like Ms. Sponisha Caesar. Would you please open your mic? Sponisha is his girlfriend, and would you like to make a statement?
Yes, sir.
Just give us your full name and your relationship to the offender.
My name is Swanisha Caesar, and I'm Edward's Paige girlfriend.
What would you like to say?
I'm trying to speak on his behalf of, the behalf of me and our kids that we have together. Everything that he have told you guys is the absolute truth. That's why whenever the DA picked up charges or anything, they did pursue to drop them. I was persistent on that because I know the type of person that he really is. He's a great father. He's a great provider. He's there for us in every situation. Yes, it did get heated. And yes, I was the instigator. My emotions actually was the one that was more high on that day. It was more of a reaction to to me and me being on a emotional roller coaster that day. Not saying that all the blame is on me and not saying all the blame is on him, but blame is taken on both parts. We have went to counseling, even though it wasn't licensed. We were moving towards a better day, better situation. Our kids we are invested in our kids' lives 100%. He's 110%. We have 5 kids all together. 2 on his side, 3 on his side. That's not mine. 1 on my side. That's not his. We combine them together. We do everything together. We have a son that's graduating next month. We have another daughter that's going to graduate from college in a year, and we are 100% involved in them. That it hurts our kids to see us apart. They love to see us together. We are a strong family. This have broken us down. We have a 20-month-old. She's very sickly. She has sickle cell. In and out the hospital. I have had numerous of jobs that I had to quit or resign from because I didn't have the financial help or have someone to help me with her. She's a very sickly kid. I can't have her in and out of daycare. Her immune system, she was hospitalized a lot. And he's very much needed here. our kids need him. I need him. He need us. We're stronger together.
Yes, yes, Mr. O'Shea. You sure you're not just dropping these charges because you know what kind of time he's backing up?
No, I know what kind of man he is. I know exactly who he is, and I know exactly what he's capable of doing. And he deserves to be around his kids. He already spent long enough time away from them, and it's time that they have a father. They have him.
Okay, you know, you sitting here telling me you know what kind of man he is, but right after the incident, you went file a restraining order. So I had to be afraid.
I didn't file a restraining order. I never did.
You lied to the cops and said you were going to file one?
No, I actually talked to someone down at the sheriff's department, and we had a long talk on the phone. And she was telling me that if I really feel like, you know, threatened or anything, to go down there and yes, pursue the press charges. I didn't feel like weeks had went by. I didn't feel like I was like threatened or anything. You know, he did come back, even though we were even still heated. He did come to get my baby to make sure that I can find a job and sleep, because I was so stressed out because of the fact that she's in and out the hospital. He shows that he cares no matter what. And even though, like I said, I was the initial instigator. So I was more so of more angrier than what he was, because all really I was the initial person. I can't speak on his behalf and say that anything. I'm just saying that I was more angrier than what he was, not giving him any slack or anything.
Okay, did he choke you and did he get a hammer?
I'm sorry?
Did he choke you and did he retrieve a hammer from the kitchen?
He did push me off of him by my shoulder, and so when I seen him go into the kitchen, I assumed that he were going, well, this is the hammer in his hand, and I ran outside. He didn't hold me against my will with the hammer or try to tell me I couldn't go anywhere. I did see him retrieve the hammer, and he didn't hold me down or anything, trying to hit me with it or anything.
Okay, no further questions.
Thank you, Mr. Thank you, Ms. Caesar.
You're welcome.
Mr. Paige?
Yes, sir.
First, give us a brief closing statement.
Me?
Yes.
I took 25 years, Department of Correction in 2009. Well, I got arrested in 2009 and I took my time in 2011. Since then, I haven't been in trouble until this arrest. I went 4 years on parole, no dirty urine, never missed a visit, never missed a payment. I maintained the job. I was able to send 2 kids to college and help 1 kid get to senior in high school. I mean, I did everything I could possibly do, Mr. O'Shea. Everything I could possibly do right. I mean, stuff happened, people get in trouble, but throughout it all, I let my kids down. So, I mean, whatever happened today, I'm gonna just pick up the pieces either way and try to put it back together.
Ms. Paige, an old man is going to give you some advice. All of us are human beings. It's going to be a stressful situation. And the next stressful situation will happen. Next time you get your keys, walk out the door, take a ride, and come back in 2 or 3 hours.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. And I'm almost sure that you're going to get some domestic abuse treatment, but that's something that I've used over the years. It gets that part grab your keys, get in your car, and take a ride.
Yes, sir.
It's a panel ready to vote. Ms. Jackson, I'm going to ask you to vote first, please.
All right. Ms. Page, I think you can benefit from the domestic violence program. It's a 26-week program. And I would be comfortable with you doing it on the outside so that you can resume working and helping out with your child with sickle cell disease. And you all will be living in Lake Charles.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any family in Lake Charles?
Yes, ma'am. I have my aunt and daughter, and I have a friend of the family that stay in Lake Charles.
My preference would be for you not to move back in with Ms. Caesar until you completed the domestic violence program, if that's possible. Is there anybody who you know for certain would allow you to stay with them until you get that program completed?
Yes, ma'am. My cousin would.
My vote would be to do not revoke, continue you on supervision as a special condition that you enroll in and complete a 26-week domestic violence program, and that you are not to reside with the victim until you completed that program. That doesn't mean that you can't have contact with her, that doesn't mean you can't interact with the child, but you all are not to live under the same roof until you completed that 26-week program. I think you'll be equipped after that to have a healthier relationship.
So where would I parole out to? To what address?
Well, your cousin, whoever's going to let you live there. I mean, oh, I see what you're saying. You can parole out to the address that you and Ms. Caesar will be living at, but in the meantime, you are not to reside there until you've completed the 26-week program. And since the condition will be that you not reside with her until completion of that program, I don't think that would be a problem for the parole officer, Mr. Freeman.
No, not at all.
Okay.
As long as you state it in the conditions, in your revocation.
All right, so you got, your address will be the address with Ms. Caesar, but the condition is you can't live there until you completed the domestic violence program. And so you're gonna have to provide your parole officer with the address of a friend that you're gonna be living with. And then once you get that certificate that you completed that program, then you can reside at the address with Ms. Caesar.
Yes, ma'am.
Right?
Mr. Freeman.
I find that he did commit domestic abuse battery, and I vote to revoke.
You have received one vote, do not revoke, and a condition that you complete a 26-week domestic abuse violence program. And one vote to revoke your supervision. Mr. Paige, you had a good interview. I believe everything that you said, and I want to commend you on your honesty. When I asked, did you touch the victim, and you said you did.
Yes, sir.
I don't see that often. And I believe, Ms. Caesar, it was a competition, and it was on both parties for responsibility. But you should never hit a lady. That's why I say you might want to practice when you see a situation getting out of hand. So remove yourself from that situation. I'm going to vote, do not revoke, with added conditions First condition is that you complete a 26-week domestic violence offenders program, and there should be one in Lake Charles. And you should enroll immediately.
Who do I go to?
Second,
My parole officer?
Yes, they'll get that set up for you.
after you complete that program, or before you complete that program, the second condition is that you are not to have a residency with Ms. Caesar until you complete that program. That doesn't mean that you can't go to the house. It doesn't mean that you can't have contact, but you cannot domicile, live and sleep on a permanent basis at that residence until you complete the program.
Yes, sir.
You understand those conditions?
Yes, sir.
The decision of the county this morning is to do not revoke and complete a 26-week domestic abuse violence program and not domicile in a residence with Ms. Caesar until you complete that program. You have a good day.